Time. Bold, intense, fun coffees are seen as a distraction from the true values of specialty coffee. But these are exactly the coffees we asked from the producers for all these years. We wanted them to create expressive profiles and complex cups, even when the climate change forced them to search for resistant varietals. We gave them an impossible task, but the producers found a way to deliver the flavor profiles we love so much. Their solution? Process-driven coffees that are not limited by their terroir, varietal, or climate. Hello judges, my name is Teodora, and today I want to brew for you a coffee that I think deserves to be celebrated on the world stage, not only as a bold, intense, and fun cup, but also as the future of specialty coffee. The lot I chose for you today is a Java varietal. The first time I tasted it, it put a big smile on my face and I got excited. I could not believe a coffee could taste like this. Bold flowers like hibiscus, intense berry notes, and a fun, candy-like sweetness. But how could a Java varietal, known and prized for its resistance, taste like the best coffee I ever had? Java is known for its fruity profile from its Ethiopian origin and heavy mouthfeel from its Indonesian heritage. But the berry floral profile you'll be tasting today is the result of innovative processing. In Colombia, at Las Flores Farm, Joan Vergara is part of a group of producers who created a future-proof style of processing that relies not only on terroir, but on enhancing the natural attributes of the coffee through innovation, precision, and control. To process this coffee, they developed a 4-stage processing protocol that uses time and temperature to guide the natural work of microorganisms. These organisms break down sugars into esters and alcohols that we perceive as sweet, fruity, and lactic notes. The first stage is a thermal shock. The cherries are plunged into 50 degrees water immediately after harvesting. This kills the unwanted bacteria and kickstarts the enzymatic process that is responsible for the intensity and brightness of the cup. For the complexity and structure of the cup, the next 2 fermentation stages are critical: submerged anaerobic, followed by aerobic fermentation with recirculated mosto. Joan noticed that by extending these 2 fermentation stages specifically for the Java, it can boost its inherent fruity notes to an expressive berry-like profile. The last stage is the drying, controlled at 32 degrees for 3 days inside stainless steel dehumidifiers. This refines the profile, giving us clean notes. Now, to celebrate this process-driven coffee, I adjusted my brewing recipe to highlight its bold, intense, and fun profile. The water I'm using today has a recipe that I specifically designed to highlight these attributes. I added calcium and sodium for a vibrant acidity, and doubled the magnesium-potassium to bring out the candy-like sweetness and juicy mouthfeel. My purpose with today's recipe is to balance the acidity and mouthfeel while maintaining the complexity of the flavors. That is why I'm using a switch dripper, which has a valve that allows me to switch from the immersion I need for texture and rich flavors to the percolation that brings clarity to my cup. My recipe for today is 15 grams of coffee to 240 grams of water, a 1:16 ratio, with a medium fine grind size that ranges from 600 to 700 microns. My first pour started with 60 grams of water at 85 degrees Celsius, with a valve closed. I let it steep for 1 minute. This long steeping time, combined with the lower temperature, allows me to extract the complex aromatics of this coffee. At 1 minute, I open the valve, let it drip, and then continue to pour all the remaining water in one continuous pour with circular motions. At 1 minute 20, I start my second pour with water at 95 degrees Celsius. I am using a paper filter with big pores to extract more of the coffee. And this percolation phase to bring clarity to my cup. Now, a 4-stage process coffee requires a high intensity roasting to bring out the complex notes and intense flavors in the beginning, followed by a gentle approach during first crack to avoid losing that fun, candy-like sweetness. I roasted this coffee 10 days ago on a convection roaster for a total time of 6 minutes and 11% development, for the perfect balance between mouthfeel, acidity, and sweetness, while also maintaining the complex flavor and intense aroma. My total brew time will be of 2 minutes 30. As you can see, I chose to brew directly into the cups I'll be serving you from. I chose to do this to also highlight the intensity of this coffee. These cups have a shape that intensifies the perception of aroma. And as you can see, I am also covering them with a lid to trap all of this aroma for an exciting reveal. Please evaluate the aroma at the end of my presentation, when and while I remove the lid, and then continue to enjoy the cup directly. Judges, I finished my brewing, but we need to wait to enjoy this cup of coffee at the right temperature. While we do this, let's go together to the bold, intense, and fun flavor profile of this coffee. The aroma, it is medium in intensity, with notes of hibiscus, raspberry candy, and bubblegum. The flavor, from hot to cold, it is medium-high in intensity. From hot to cold, you'll find notes of raspberry candy, hibiscus tea, rose, and blood orange. When it cools down, you'll notice that the blood orange citrus character becomes more apparent. The aftertaste. From hot to cold, it is medium and long-lasting. And from hot to cold, it reminds me of raspberry candy and pink grapefruit. The acidity. From hot to cold, it is medium-high in intensity. And from hot to cold, it is citric, like blood orange. But as it cools down, you'll also start noticing a malic character, like berries. The sweetness. It is medium-high in intensity, from hot to cold, with a sugary character that reminds me of candy. Now, the mouthfeel. It is medium in heaviness, from hot to cold. When hot, it has a juicy viscosity that, when it cools, becomes more silky. A world-class flavor profile that comes from a resistant varietal. This is the future we ask for. This is how we let the producers create added value. This is the innovation we should be celebrating on the world stage. Thank you, judges, for celebrating this cup of coffee with me today. And please enjoy. This was my time.
And that was Teodora representing